From this and passages like it, I'm sure this is not the only place, and I'm not sure if this is the first, where the prophets start to talk about the remnant. And the remnant becomes a key word, a technical term, for the small faithful component of the adherence to Yahweh amongst the Jewish people. Even when things got bad, the worst kings and queens, Jezebel at the height of her power, Manasseh at the depth of his cruelty, there was always some among the people, no matter how small, who maintained the faith. And then when God came to correct Israel, it was really to set those people free and to strip away the corruption that had sort of formed around it. Now, I say that to tell you this. That has always been the case amongst our brothers and sisters. Even when persecution gets bad, a remnant remains. And often it's those stupid party toys where you have the can of fake peanuts with the cloth snakes with the springs on the inside? Yeah, that thing. It's kind of like that. It's compressed. It's small because of number, not because of effectiveness or efficacy or power or influence, right? And then when that is set free, it's just poof, and it goes everywhere. Like those boxes that people are stealing on the videos on the internet. See, you think you're all above this, but you all know what I'm talking about. Or at least most of you do. Okay. The other reason I say this is because it is popular amongst those people who are on the outside to claim, I'm part of the remnant of the modern church. Now, I want you to be very cautious about that. Remember, I say you should presume the scriptures apply to you before they apply to somebody else. You should not assume that you're part of the remnant unless you're really working to be part of it, right? Because what that becomes is a way to just absolve myself of my responsibilities. I'm part of the faithful crew. Okay, great. You maybe want to look at what you're saying and doing and make sure that's actually true before you rely on that as the thing that's going to make you comfortable about your salvation. Because if you look back at our history, there are very few saints who rebelled against the formal structure of the church. There's not zero. Guys like Padre Pio spent most of their ministry in opposition to their local bishop. And yet still saint. There was reasons for that. But even Padre Pio, in his resistance, was always obedient. However, there are many heretics who fought with their local ordinary and with the Holy Father. So I'm not saying that everything that comes out of the Rome or that comes out of Shriver is absolutely sacrosanct. I'm saying that if you're fighting with the bishop, historically, you're on the losing side of that fight. Saints are declared by popular piety, not necessarily. The formal church structure, has a process for these things, but it's because regular lay people are pushing for it and asking for it. Okay, so saints done by popular piety. Not many saints who fought their bishop. Not many saints. There are many saints who fought their priest, though. Just if it makes you feel better. If you want to really hear something depressing, do you know why the Dominicans and the Franciscans exist? Because diocesan priests weren't doing their jobs. People were paying taxes to support their local parishes and then giving at the oratories because that's where they were being fed. That's where they were receiving the sacraments. The sacraments, right? That's where they were getting Sunday Mass. Not at their parish church. The dude wouldn't show up sometimes. He's too busy celebrating in his parents' castle. My community failed. And now we have Franciscans and Dominicans. Lovely that we have those religious communities. Not complaining about them, right? I am complaining about the failure of my brothers in the past to care for the needs of the people who they had care of souls of. Dante puts those people in hell. Dante's not a saint, but Dante's probably not wrong. However, before you consider yourself to be among the remnant, Make sure it's true. It's important that you apply the Scriptures to your life before you presume they apply to somebody else. In this passage, let's presume for the sake of argument that let's look and make sure we are not the rebellious city, polluted and tyrannical, before we presume we are part of the remnant. And that will keep you spiritually sharp.